Hello, my name is Ryan Hanshin, and I serve the people of Boulder as Community Engagement Manager. We appreciate you all being here this morning, and as my colleagues continue setting up, we want to encourage everyone to take a minute to ground yourselves in why we're here so we can be truly present. I know folks have come from some faraway places, and we invite everyone to take a few deep breaths together as we set up. You want to breathe with me in through your nose and out through your mouth. We'll continue a few deep breaths together. Another way we can plant ourselves firmly in our purpose is to reflect for just a minute on where we come from. While we finish setting up, I will share Boulder's land acknowledgement. The City of Boulder acknowledges the city is on the ancestral homelands and the unceded territory of Indigenous peoples who have traversed, lived in, and stewarded lands in the Boulder Valley since time immemorial. Those Indigenous nations include the Apache, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Kiowa, Pawnee, Shoshone, Sioux, and Ute. The City of Boulder recognizes that those now living and working on these ancestral lands have a responsibility to acknowledge and address the past and work to build a more just future.
Good morning, City of Boulder. We're so happy to start out with you. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, you may begin.
Good morning. We are from the City of Boulder, and we begin our presentation with a short video.
Hi, I'm Nuria Rivera Vandermeide, City Manager of beautiful Boulder, Colorado, home to more than 100,000 people. I am proud of the collaborative projects we are highlighting today. Boulder is strengthening democracy through local action and innovation. The thread that runs through each of these projects is that inclusive and meaningful participation are key to sustaining and in some cases restoring trust. This trust is vital to local government success in serving communities, especially in these complex times.
Boulder's 2023 election included a vote for mayor using ranked choice voting. A strong partnership was essential to ensuring that voters understood how to participate and to ensure that the process went smoothly.
Como miembro de la comunidad fue una gran experiencia el ver cómo la ciudad de Boulder estableció las medidas necesarias para ver que otras comunidades como la mía participaran en el establecimiento y prioridades presupuestarias de la ciudad. Ahora, como conector comunitario, puedo ayudar a otros miembros de mi comunidad a alzar la voz, no solo en cuanto a los gastos de la ciudad, sino también en cuanto a la toma de decisiones importantes.
So the Racial Equity Instrument is part of a national best practice that we have adopted here in the City of Boulder. We use it to actively and intentionally insert racial equity best practices into any of the decision-making processes that we are doing. And one of the ways that the instrument is making a difference is really to ensure that we are lifting and elevating the history that has often been excluded or violently erased. By taking a look at this history, acknowledging it, honoring the past is really an opportunity for us to move forward in a more intentional and a more authentic way to really build a better future for everyone.
We're excited to share this journey with you.
Good morning. As City Manager, I'm honored to welcome you and our community's delegation. I'm thrilled to introduce Adriana Paola Palacios Luna, a community connector and artist. She's here to share a poem she's written, and in the spirit of inclusivity, she will present it in Spanish. English interpretation is available through your headsets and in your handouts.
Respira, estamos en un mundo doliente, pero hoy nos convoca lo posible. Voces diversas se convierten en un nosotros. Música de diálogos polifónicos crean una visión compartida. Encuentros comunitarios siembran semillas para el bien común. Nutrimos un árbol de fuertes raíces y ramas frondosas para en colectivo crear un bosque de perenne bienestar. Acción consciente e intencionada, la escucha activa de voces históricamente silenciadas, reconocer la sabiduría ancestral y la creatividad contemporánea.
Thank you, Adriana. Boulder supports democracy through inclusive participation. Today, we'll share more about 3 examples, starting with ranked choice voting.
I'm Matt Benjamin, and before I was a council member, I was a Boulder resident working to change how we elect our mayor. It started with a desire to reduce political polarization, create more inclusion, and ultimately give more voice and more choice to voters. Supporters spent the summer of 2020, during the pandemic, mind you, collecting more than 4,000 signatures for a ballot initiative to elect our mayor using ranked choice voting. This initiative passed with 78% of the vote.
I'm Elisha Johnson, City Clerk for Boulder. We knew changing our voting system would create more barriers for our community. We wanted to make sure people knew what to expect. So we developed an online voting guide with an instructional video and practice ballot. We tabled at events and worked with partners like the Boulder County League of Women Voters to raise awareness.
I'm Celeste Landry with the League of Women Voters. Our local league planned an event with clerks to share information about the election changes. The event included live Spanish interpretation, bilingual ballots, and a video recording for later viewing. Attendance actually ranked the candidates in a practice election. The league tabulated the sample ballots and answered questions, and the real-life mayoral tabulation, followed by a pioneering risk-limiting audit, went very smoothly.
Inclusive participation supports democracy.
Thank you. Our second example is the intentional decision to lift the voices of community connectors and their communities in the city's budget process.
I am Selassie Atiasi, a community connector. Community connectors are bicultural community members partnering with city staff. We support the voices and build the power of historically excluded communities. We reduce barriers, increase trust in city government, and surface the community members' ideas, concerns, and dreams. Communities we are part of include Latina, Nepali, Black or African American, Indigenous, immigrants, older adults, students, people of disabilities, and low-income community members.
I'm Lenora Cooper, a community connector. In 2023, we collaborated with the City Budget Office to learn about the annual budget process and co-design community education sessions. We gathered community priorities and we presented them to the city department heads. These city leaders later shared with us that our powerful testimony impacted their proposals, and the city budget reflected our top 3 priorities. These priorities were:
provide a variety of housing types with a full range of affordability.
Support economic opportunity regardless of race, gender, ability, or socioeconomic status.
Support the City of Boulder advancing racial equity.
We also hosted a public hearing training. At the first public hearing, 73% of community speakers were connected to our work. After the budget passed, we reconnected with participants to provide a multilingual update. This was a new way for the city to partner with community. Feedback was heard, valued, and used to prioritize the city's budget. Participants told us that this process built trust and encouraged their future involvement.
Inclusive participation supports democracy.
Thank you. Our final example is the integration of racial equity into a historic district proposal.
I'm Vivian Castro-Wooldridge, engagement strategist for the city's planning department. Over the past 2 years, Boulder's used a racial equity instrument to inform more than 20 projects. The instrument is a 6-step process created by the Government Alliance on Race and Equity. It guides the development, implementation, and evaluation of policies, programs, and practices to advance racial equity in Boulder.
I'm Marcy Gerwing, the Principal Planner for Historic Preservation. I know firsthand how the racial equity instrument can change a project. As we explored historic designation for a civic park area, the process led us to research a more complete history, including people of color who lived and worked here, and acknowledge the missing history of indigenous populations from whom the land was taken. As we created a walking tour, we centered these stories.
Hello, my name is Ava Hamilton, and I am Arapaho. Arapaho people have a strong relationship with this land. As a community connector, I joined staff to identify gaps and biases in the history of this land. Changing white dominant narratives to include our experiences is important. Through use of the racial equity instrument and listening to community members like me, the stories of this land, my people, and all other peoples who live here are lifted and included.
Inclusive participation supports democracy.
As we prepare to close, I invite Adriana to share more of her original poem, available on your headsets and handouts.
Quedan desafíos por vencer. Habla desde la sonrisa amable frente a la otredad, un foro público al que entramos con temor, la posibilidad de pertenecer, con la confianza de que en colectivo podemos construir un mundo mejor, desde las más legítimas y diversas formas de la democracia.
Thank you so much for your time, and we leave you with one final thought. Say it with us. Inclusive participation supports democracy.